All right, guys, this is your non-traditional day one lesson, and we are going to review the very first lesson of the school year, and that is about data and the types of data. So first up, remember that data are facts or statistics collected together for reference or analysis. Remember, data can be numerical, hang on one second, or non-numerical. And data can often be described using those 5 W's that we talked about at the beginning of the year. They were who, what, when, where, and if possible, why. Remember, the why is not always possible. Sometimes you can add how to the list as well. Um, Answering the first 2 questions are essential. If you can't answer who and what, you don't have data and you don't have any useful information. So, who and what are absolutely necessary. Without context, too, remember that without context, if we don't know who we're talking about or what they can measure, the values are absolutely meaningless. So, you have to have context to your problem. And I know throughout the year we've really been working on that. So, categorical or quantitative variables. I know that you guys probably feel like this is something that you have down at this point, but I still see those questions that are asking what's wrong with using this example in this particular situation. We're still missing, we can't do it because it's categorical versus quantitative, and I've still seen that showing up on your homework. So knowing the difference between these two and when they're useful is imperative. When a variable names categories and answers questions about how cases fall into those categories, remember we call this one the categorical. And when it's measured with units and we can answer questions about the quantity of what is measured, this is when we have a quantitative variable, okay? These are both more about what we hope to learn about the variable than about the variable itself. So it's all about what we hope to learn. I never give myself enough room. All right. If the values of a variable are words rather than numbers, it's good. It is a good bet that it is categorical, but some variables can answer both kinds of questions. So if it isn't clear whether it's categorical or quantitative, think about why you were looking at it. And what you want it to tell you. Okay, some examples of categorical. Just remember a type of car owned, a student ID number. One of the most recent ones that we saw was the year that we did those Olympic problems in. Remember, it wasn't actually worth 1,997, it was just an identifier. Color of a car, and we could go on and on and on. Quantitative, say years that 2 people have been married. A person's height, hourly wages, and once again, we could keep going and going and going. Okay. We're going to do one example, and that's it for this video. For the following example, identify the 5 W's and the how each were applicable. I know that we really struggled with this at the beginning of the year. Hopefully, this is a breeze to you guys at this point. So it says the State Education Department requires local school districts to keep these records on all students: age, race, or ethnicity, days absent, current grade level, standardized test scores in reading and mathematics, and any disabilities or special education needs. So who are we talking about in this problem? We are talking about students. Okay, what are we talking about? There was a lot of what's here. Well, first we started with age, then it went on to race or ethnicity. And so this is just a matter of copying down all the what's that they told us. Days absent, current grade, the level, sorry. And let's see, standardized test score in reading and math. So reading score, math score, and finally, any student with disabilities or special needs. Okay, so there's a lot there. When, current. Okay, you want to keep local school districts want to keep all these records on students' files, so it's just a current thing that they do. There was no actual date given there. Where, we're not told where, so not specified. Okay. Why, it says that keeping this information is a state requirement. So why it is a state requirement. And how the information, I'm going to put info to try to finish this out, is collected and stored as part of school records. Okay? And there you guys have it. I hope this is enough review for you guys to answer the following practice problems and then complete the exit slip. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email me. Thank you guys so much.